Welcome creators, I'm the Homeos, and this is my channel, where we inspire creativity, explore game development, and bring Unreal Engine projects to life. In part 12 of the third-person game series, we're adding a sprint feature so the player can walk normally, then sprint faster by pressing left shift. I'll start by creating an input action and two variables, walk speed and sprint speed. Also, I will make two functions, start sprint and end sprint, and connect everything in the event graph. If you missed out on the third-person game series, go back and watch the playlist in my channel. The link will be in the description. And remember to like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel. With that said, let's jump into the UE5 editor. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my Epic browser here, and I'm going to go under Unreal Engine. I'm going to go in my library, and I'm going to open up my game that I've been working on, third-person game. And what I want to do is I want to go under my content browser here, and I'm looking for the third person. Now you'll see the blueprints, inputs, and maps. We want to go under the inputs, and this is what we're going to use. But what we want to do is go into the action files, and I want to create another input action. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hit Control D. There you go. I'm going to duplicate this, and I'm just going to get rid of the move, and I want to call this sprint. Okay, so there's our input action. So now what we got to do is change some things in the input action. What we're going to do now is I'm going to go back to the input and the IMC default, the input mapping context. We're going to open that up. So let me show you that again real quick. So under content, third person, you'll see the input folder, the subfolder, and you'll get the input mapping context. And just double click that and it'll open up your input mapping. So you got mappings, and then you got the mappings right here, the list of key actions. You want to go ahead and hit that little arrow, drop everything out. So you got the jump, the move, and the lock. So when we want to add another one, so under next to mapping here, I'm going to go ahead to the plus icon to add action mapping, and under here we're looking for the sprint. So we're going to go ahead and click on that. So now we got the sprint, and we can go ahead and save that, and we're done with that. That's all we got to do. So the next thing I want to do is create two functions and two variables. So we're going to start with the variables here. I want floats, so make sure we got a float. And let me get another one here. So we got two floats, and we're going to call the first one, the two variables, we got walk speed. And the second one, I want to click on it. I'm going to hit F2, and I want to call this sprint speed. Okay, so now we got sprint speed and we've got walk speed under our variables. I'm going to compile that and I'm save. So our max walk speed. So we can find our walk speed by, let me get some room here. We want to go into character movement and drag that over. And here we want to drag out walk speed. So we click on walk speed. The max walk speed is at 600. I'm going to close that out. We don't need character movement, that's just the text, the walk speed. So we're going to go under walk speed, and I'm going to put 600. We can change this later and lower it. So now let's compile and save that. I'm going to go under sprint speed, and I'm going to put this as double. So 1200. So we're going to compile that and save. All right, great. So now what I want to do is make two functions. Okay, so two functions we are going to create. We're going to go under the functions in our the left here, where it says functions, right under graph here, and my blueprints. We're going to get the first function, and we are going to call the first function start sprint. Okay, so we got that function made. So we're going to make another function. We're going to click on this little add function with a little plus here. And we're going to call this end sprint. So basically, the start sprint, we're going to add, well, we'll go over that. I'm going to show you everything. So let's do the start sprint. Oh, I clicked on the end sprint. No. There we go. So there's the start sprint. We're going to go start with that. So what I want to do is over here on our components, under our BP third person character here, we're going to go all the way down. So we're going to look for character movement here. So this is the character we're using, movement. This is how we got the walk speed. So where's the character movement? I want to set max walk speed. So to set max walk speed. Okay, so pull that up a little bit and just want to connect that there. Okay, so now for this is going to be the start sprint. So we'll just get the sprint speed that we made here. And we got to open those little eyeballs. It's not a big deal. I like to leave them open just in case I need to call on them somewhere else. Okay, so compile and save that. That is our start sprint function. So our next function is going to be the end sprint. So we're going to open that, double click on the function. It's going to open up this graph here. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to get the character movement. We're going to get max walk speed, but we're going to get the set max walk speed. So we're going to go ahead and make sure that that's, so now what we want to get is the walk speed. So there you go. So walk speed is set at 600, and when we go back to the start sprint, this one is going to be our 1200. Okay, so now we got a call on these. So let me go and make sure all these are compiled and saved there. So how we're going to do, we're going to go into our event graph here and our third person character here. And what I want to do, I want to call on that input action. So I'm going to tell you input action, and you're going to see our input actions come up. Where is the, there they are. Yeah, so we want the sprint input action. So we go ahead and call that out, and you're going to see it's the enhanced input action IA sprint. So we're good. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and drop this down here, and we'll have triggered, and then we have complete. The next thing we want to do is under triggered, we want to call the start sprint function. Okay, and then on completed, we want to end sprint. Calling that function there. Let's go compile that and save, and let's test it out. So I'm going to hit play here. Well, yeah, I'm going to hit play. Oh, let's go back. I forgot to set the action left shift. Okay, so back under sprint here, drop down the arrow. So back, let me show you where I got that. Under the defaults, under third person inputs, the next to the action, the input mapping context. Double click that. This is going to open. That's where we had our sprint. We're going to drop down the arrow, and we have none right now. So what we want to do is select the value. We're just at left shift. So just click on that little keyboard and just hit the button left shift. So we're going to save that now. All right, so we're going to test that out. He's walking, he's walking, he's sprinting, he's sprinting, he's sprinting, he's sprinting. He's doing circles around the guy, and then he's walk slides. So I like the slide. That was an accident, but I think I'm going to work with this. So I'll deal with that in the next video. So if I let everything go, He does a little slide there. So if I just keep getting forward and shift, he's running, he's walking speed. Running, walk speed. Running. But if I let everything go, he does that slide. That's pretty cool. I'm going to keep that. That's it, creators. We've added a sprint feature to our third-person game, giving the players the ability to move faster by pressing the input action key. If this video helped you out, hit that like button, subscribe, and check out the rest of my Unreal Engine tutorials. And like always, stay inspired and keep creating.